Hello there, Aries. This is Sherri Simpson coming to you from Armstrong, British Columbia. And I am a transformational life coach. I do Akashic record readings and help people release things from the past. I also check in with you at a soul level to let you know who you are and help you manifest things into your future. And I can also determine if the things that you're attempting to manifest are actually in alignment and how much time they might be able to take and see if we can find ways for you to lessen the actual manifestation and physical, tangible reality of those things you really want. And actually check in to see if those things that you want are really wanted or if they're shoulds or I have to's or sort of like, pipe dream daydreams that you're like, oh, I really used to want this and I've been working for it for so long, but do you really want it now? So I tap in with that information for people. And what is the energy for you right now? It's your birthday month, which is amazing. So happy birthday to the Aries out there as you come into your birthday. Mercury just went retrograde, so we are healing all things communication. You, Aries, you are very creative. You're very good with your hands. You're also very good with the dirt and flowery things and building things and creating things. But some of you have a tendency not to be confident in what it is that you're presenting or wanting to please other people and give up pieces and aspects of yourself. So I really want you to check in right now with how you've been communicating with you and what things that you've been giving away that you really want for yourself, or what things have you been sort of putting aside in terms of daydreams and being like, nah, you know, I really want this thing, but it's going to be too hard, or it's going to be too much work, or, this will have to happen, or whatever. And I want you to check in with, is that still relevant? And if it is still relevant, then what needs to change within you? Because right now, Jupiter is retrograde, and Jupiter is the planet of joy. It's a massive, huge planet. It's like the biggest planet in the solar system. And it is retrograde, which means we're going within to cultivate actual joy in what it is we want to create and what it is you want to share with the world. So you have a tendency to share things that are physical, that are actual, like sharing plants, sharing gardens, sharing meals and experiences, sharing things that are artworks and tangible things um, like arts and craft kind of things that you actually touch and create something out of nothing. And those are amazing, but do you have one of those things or a handful of those things that you'd really like to do? Maybe putting your stuff on display and actually having your own art show, or having your own garden tour, or having your own something, your own antique shop is coming up for someone. And so are there things that you've been sort of putting off that you've been like, oh, I could have done that, or maybe I'll do that one day. It's time to check in with those things. It's time to check in and see if those things um, are still wanting to cultivate joy within you and bring them out. It's time to actually start communicating with yourself on that different level. Many of you are very spiritual and very connected to yourself, but then sometimes you get distracted by what you should be doing, or you get distracted by projects, or you get distracted by certain things, and then you get disconnected from yourself, and resistance gets created, and then things will happen in terms of, I don't know if I'm good enough now. And it's almost like you got into alignment and you were in this place of focus, and then suddenly I have to make dinner, or suddenly the grass needs to be cut, or suddenly something else takes you astray, and then it takes you some time to get back into focus again. So I wonder if there's things that you can do to keep you more in alignment more of the time, so that when you do get distracted, you're still in that place of creativity. You're just creating something different, and it's okay for you to be in that different place. And then you can tap into that energy of, I'm a brilliant creator of all things, and tap into that confidence and that alignment and that deservingness even though it's separate from what you were doing, and just tap into that thing again so you don't feel so disjointed in your projects. I get the sense that some of those projects are going to be released that you are no longer interested in doing as Mercury is retrograde and healing our communication and situations and experiences from the past. For many people, this Mercury retrograde is going to be really big and heal a lot of deeper stuff, and the shifts are going to be really big. I get the sense that you've done a lot of that work already and that you might not be healing things that are as big as some of the other signs. But for you, it's more about, what does bring me joy and what do I want to create more of? And do I want to do that garden project or that antique shop or that thing that I've been putting off? Or is it just something that, was a pipe dream that is taking up space? I said the same thing to Pisces. There's something in the air about checking in with our big dreams. Yeah, here my arms is standing up, checking in with our big dreams that we used to have and seeing if they're still in alignment with how I cultivate joy or how I want to cultivate joy now and into the future. And if they're not anymore, then let those go and just cut the ties, almost like they're helium balloons that you're cutting them and allowing them to go so they can be someone else's dreams now, and deciding to call in something else that will be even more joyful and even more fun and even more playful and even more creative than what you were thinking about doing, for 20 years. And that's going to be important as Mercury is retrograding. Mercury ends up going direct around the 10th of April, but before that, there is a full moon on March 31st that's going to be a celebration and a culmination. Most people are going to experience a pretty big change of things, and stirring the pot and actually making the decisions over the next week about the stuff that definitely has to go. And then we're actually going to celebrate that we cut those ties and that we did let go of those helium balloons that were sort of keeping us bobbling around. And then we're actually going to be able to start focusing on, okay, what is it that I want that's more joyful and more creative? And what do I want my backyard to look like? And what do I want my art show to be like? And what do I want my experience to be like, rather than sort of stepping on the heels of what I did want in the past, or stepping on the heels or the like kite tails or coat strings of what other people have done, and I'll just hop on the bandwagon with them. You're actually cultivating what you want to do. And that's sort of an interesting thing for you, Aries, because I don't think you're necessarily used to being in the limelight quite so much. And you really do like to be recognized for the things that you're creating. But you don't necessarily want that whole like online stage being recognized. So I think shifting as the celebration of March 31st goes into April is going to be big for you, because I think that tendency of choosing something that is joyful and bigger and more creative is going to bring you more into the limelight. So you're going to need to be okay with that. But I think if you pick something that's passionate enough and purposeful enough for you, that's probably been in there, but it's been pretty deep. And again, it might be one of those pipe dream things that you're ready to bring into reality, that it's time that you cultivate that. And so it's time that you create that. It's time that you allow that in. And I get the sense that that's going to be happening this month for your birthday month, and it's going to be exciting. So I'm going to pull some cards for you. I normally pull 4 cards. I pull one card that has to do usually with the physical, tangible reality, and sometimes the actual physical body. I pull another card that has to do with mental thoughts and beliefs and what needs to come in or what needs to be shifted and let go of. I pull another card that has to do with the the emotional body, on how you're feeling and the emotions that you're experiencing, which is how we manifest things into the physical. And when I pull another card based on spirit and how we're connecting in with our highest self and our human self and allowing things to manifest into this physical reality. So I am going to use the cards from John Holland's Heart deck. So this is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart from John Holland. I like these cards because they're extremely colorful, and they usually provide a lot of detail, though the recent readings I have been doing have been more about feeling the energy of the card rather than looking into the chakras and the numerology. So we'll see what comes up for you, Aries. I'm looking for some kind of physical, tangible guidance for you about what it is that you're now ready to release, maybe from like a physical hoarding sort of sensation, but maybe from a perspective of dreams that are no longer serving you, that are keeping up space within you and around you, that you can now sort of take off of that Pinterest board or take off of that vision board, and you'll have space on your board in order to draw in what it is that you really truly desire. So what is it on a physical nature? And also this could be physical body. Um, Interesting. It looks like we have all of your 4 cards, unless there's more guidance that comes through. So the first thing that comes up is the sense that you don't necessarily feel like you can master your reality, or that you don't feel like you're masterful enough to create that pipe dream or that dream that you've had. So you haven't been able to bring it into your physical reality. And I get the sense that if it's something that is not in alignment with your true joy and something that you really want to create, then it doesn't really matter if you don't have the power, you don't think you have to master it, because it's not something you really desire anyway. And if that's the case, you're just going to cut that helium balloon and allow what it is that you want to come in. And then that's going to create a different sense of personal power. It's going to create a different sense of freedom for you. And so if you wanted to build a garden that was all perennials instead of annuals, because you want to spend more time in the garden but less time gardening, or less time pulling weeds. So maybe you want to get rid of the grass in your yard, and maybe you want to fill it with more stones and more rocks and a labyrinth or something. Oh, water came up for you earlier when I was thinking about your energy, and water lilies came up, and fairies came up when I was thinking about your energy. So perhaps you can tap into listening to the fairies and what it is that you want. And you are a very fiery sign, and you're very like grounded and earthy, but you may not be as connected to the fluidity of water. So maybe that's why water lilies has come up. Maybe some of you actually wanted to actually add a pond or some kind of a water structure into the backyard, and that's one of those things that's been a pipe dream, and you don't know if you can actually master that. And I get the sense that if you don't think you can master it, then it's either time to step into the reality of doing it, so calling in the people who can help you, or calling in you're really good at doing research and doing Google and figuring things out and doing them on your own. So you can be the master of pretty much anything that you want, but you need to first decide what it is that you want to master. And so master from that real heart-centered place, and that place of, I'm confident in this. I can totally build a water, anything, a water structure, a pond, whatever it is, in the backyard or in the side yard or inside of the house, if you want some kind of outside, inside, bringing the fairies inside. A fairy garden might be an interesting thing for you to start with. But literally getting into that place that absolutely I have what it takes to create and master, and really going into that joyful place of, this is what I want to master. So I get the sense that this first week, as we move from now, which is the 25th of March, into the 31st of March, when we celebrate that culmination and celebrate that full moon, is when you're going to really decide what it is I want to master, and get rid of those cores that are keeping you stuck, that are feeling like you can't have what it is that you want, and really decide what it is. And then you're going to actually flip that around when it comes to April 1, and you're going to decide that you are the master. And I love this because when we flip it around, we have a number 1, which is about, I can do this. It's about independence. It's about manifestation. It's about things happening very quickly once you step into the place that absolutely I can physically bring this in to the tangible reality, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I love that this is also a 1-5 card, because the 5 is about transformation. And if you can think that you can do it, if you can step into that place that this is what I want to master, and this is what I want to joyfully create, and this is why I want to create it, then you can move into that transformation of, yes, I am the master, and I'm going to figure out how to do this because it's something I really want. So you're going to cut those cords for what it is that you don't want, and you're actually going to bring in the, yes, this is what I want. I'm going to release all of those energetic thoughts of the pipe dreams and the daydreams that I don't really want anymore, again, this came up for Pisces, so there's something to a connection. A Pisces was the sign before yours, so they just finished and you were just beginning. So it's as though you're allowing yourself to get rid of those things that are no longer serving you at the end of the horoscope or astrology cycle. And now that we moved into spring, we moved into your sign, Aries, we're actually cultivating a new beginning. We're cultivating that sense of allowing ourselves to create a whole new cycle. So what is it that you're now ready to master that maybe in the past, in a physical, tangible reality, you weren't thinking that you could master? Woodworking is coming in for some of you. So if some of you really have that desire to play with your hands and do something more textural and build something, building like a bench in the backyard or building like a swing or something like that that you can put into your garden so you can enjoy your garden, then allow yourself to step into that place that, yes, I can master this. This is going to be a beautiful piece of artwork. It's going to be something where I can sit in my garden and enjoy the birds and enjoy the flowers and enjoy the senses and enjoy the fairies. So I get the sense, again, that heart-centered place of creation and joy is a place that you want to step into. And once you do that and decide what it is that you're going to create, that you're definitely going to be able to master it. But you need to choose and you need to get rid of those things that are preventing you from having that confidence. And even if it's having your own art show or having your own antique store, there's a piece of you that thinks like, oh, that would be too hard. I don't have the money for that. I don't know how to call that in. I don't know how to do that. If it's something that you truly want, it's going to cultivate the joy within you. That's something that if you were to pass away, before this happens, is it something that you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't do that one thing. It's time to master that one thing and to step into that place and allow yourself to do it. The next card that came up is win or lose, but it came up in reverse. So again, this one came up in reverse too. So changes and transformations coming in. I get the sense here that from a mental thought pattern, our thoughts become our beliefs. And so what we keep thinking is that maybe we're thinking black and white. We're thinking yes or no. We're thinking do or don't. We're thinking things really too rigidly. And I get the sense from this win or lose card that you get to choose. You get to choose what you cut free. You get to choose what you keep thinking about. You get to choose what you keep desiring or not desiring. You get to choose whether you believe you're not the master of something or whether you can be the master of something. And that is from a perspective of winning and losing, I get the sense that you're the winner no matter what because you chose it, right? So if you're choosing to feel like you've lost because you couldn't master it, then it's really not about winning and losing. It's about choice and transformation. So if we look at this card, it's also a 5. It's about changing and transforming how you're thinking, because if you're thinking, I can't master that one thing, or I don't have the money to call that in, or I don't know how to do that, or I don't have those resources, or that would be too big, or that would be too scary, or I don't want to put myself onto that stage, then you're the one who's choosing that. So you're the one who's choosing to stay stuck in that place or to move and shift into that place. So is it time for you to shift the thoughts to create a new belief that you can master that you can create the antique store, that you can create the bench or the water landscape item, or that you can build that pond or that waterfall, or that you can create the most amazing fairy garden or whatever it is, and step into that place of, no, I am choosing, I have free will, I can manifest whatever I want, and all I need to do is choose my thoughts around this thing, release what's not serving me, step into that place of joy and cultivate it and believe that I can do it. And once I believe that I can do it, my thoughts and my beliefs are going to line up. And then I'm going to be able to master it in the tangible and the physical. Let's see what emotionally is. I mean, you have so many reverse cards today. So if you have not been coming from a place of love, and I get the sense that for many people, not just Aries, but a lot of signs, we come from a place of love, but we come from a place of giving away our love to everyone else, but not actually giving our love to ourselves. So if you think about love including you, and you think about the emotions that you've been holding on to and hoarding, Have you been sharing your emotions with people? Have you been telling the people closest to you, I love you, I adore you? You talk to the plants, I know you do. So you probably talk to the plants that you have in your house. You're probably talking to the trees and the birds and some of nature. Are you talking to the people around you? Are you talking to yourself? Are you looking in the mirror and actually expressing simple love to you and allowing yourself to cultivate what you want and allowing yourself to step into that place of, okay, these pipe dreams I've been holding on to are actually shoulds that I thought I should have because it's a dream that I had when I was 7. Yeah, well, you're not 7 now, right? You're hopefully older if you're watching this video. But you could be 7. No, but in that place of what it has been, are you now willing to step into that place that, yes, I can master whatever I want? Yes, I can actually love myself and feel the emotions and cultivate a different kind of love from a different place and expand a light. As soon as you step into that place of feeling and experiencing more love and not giving it all away, but including yourself within that, um, it won't be a win or lose and it won't be a do or don't. It will be a cultivate for it all. It will be sort of an expansion and why am I so suddenly singing We Are the Children? Perhaps you actually have children around you that are watching you as you are standing in that place of, oh no, I don't have the money for that. No, I don't have the time to do that. Oh no, that's too big a project. Oh no, we can't do that right now. Or maybe you're having people who are looking up to you, who are looking at you in that place of black or whiteness, and not in that place of everything can be greater and bigger. Or maybe you're actually looking at the cup half empty rather than cup half full. And the people who are around you are seeing that and wondering why you're thinking that way, or is that the way that you're supposed to look? And I get the sense that when you tap into that place of the confidence and that place of, again, stepping into joy, joy must be something that's big for you this month and big for most of you on a regular basis. And maybe you haven't been cultivating in ways that are masterful and creative for you in a big enough way. Because I get the sense that you do that all the time, and maybe you've been doing it sort of on a sine curve way where you've been pushing and pulling, and what's one of those things that I said at the beginning about how you tend to get pulled away from some of these projects and you feel like your mojo got shaken. Well, if you're still in a place of love that whole time, then just because your mojo got pulled away from the art project that you're doing or from planting in the garden and you get pulled to something else, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. You can still have that sense of love and that sense of peace and that sense of joy to wherever you go because it's within you. You're going to bring it wherever you are. So if that means that you get pulled into making a meal or you get pulled into taking care of a family member, or taking care of a pet, or pulled into the church or the community center or wherever it is, you're still taking that same sense of you wherever you go, which means that purpose and that passion and that creativity and that essence of you, that essence of love is still following you around. It's not like you cut ties with it and your creativity is now stopped and now you're starting and stopping. It's not, it's a flow. It's an ebb and a flow. And you're allowing that to go with you wherever you are. And you can master that sense of being in flow wherever you are so that it doesn't feel like you're stopping and starting in traffic. Or maybe it doesn't feel like you have one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas. So yes, you want to be in that place where you're on stage and you're getting the recognition and success, but you feel like people won't think of it the same way or see it the same way, or you don't think it's good enough. I get the sense that holding that place of joy and that place of love within you is really important. And that once you get that sense of everything is love, that it won't be a win or a lose. It won't be a black or white. It won't be I can't master that or I can. It's actually going to be you flowing joy through everything. And then the things that you touch, the plants that you touch, what you plant, what you grow, what you create is actually going to be even greater and more expansive and more enjoyable and more loving and kind and amazing because you allowed that same essence of yourself to go everywhere. So I get the sense, again, let's reiterate that in a different way. So if you're creating something, like you're in the backyard and you're planting and you're enjoying the flowers and you're listening to the birds, or you're painting something, or you're building something or creating something, and you get pulled away because you have to eat and it's time to make dinner. Well, you can bring and cultivate that same sense of love and joy and appreciation and creativity into making dinner. So if you think of making dinner, and this resonates with so many signs, but for some reason it's really important for you right now, which is why it's coming up in the video. If you cultivate that same sense of creativity and passion and joy and simply love into making the meal, rather than the meal being something that took you away from that fun thing that you were doing, can you cultivate that same sense of joy and that same sense of love in everything that you do, even if you're getting pulled and shifted away into all of these different things? So can I get the sense that you can just float around like a bee that's experiencing the pollen in different kinds of flowers? Like, can you just float around and allow that joyful place within you to be in everything? And then that's going to feel like more flow, and then you're going to feel like you're more masterful in all of your life. And then it's not going to feel like you're winning when you're creating the garden, but you're losing when you're cooking or when you get pulled away, or you're winning when you're creating this art project or doing this woodworking project, and then you're losing when you have to go to bed, even though you don't really want to because you're in that place. So can you step into that place of allowing that flow of love to be everywhere within you, so that everything has that same sense for you? I'm getting all bouncy and jumpy here. Interesting. So the last card that comes up from spirit guidance is seeking the truth. And that makes me think, and so let's see the numbers here. You had a 1 and a 5, which is about independence and transformation. And then you had a 5, which is all about transforming your thoughts. And then you had a 6, which is about nurturing and joy and creating love within. And now you're getting a 7. Lucky number 7 is about connecting with the spirit and manifesting things into the physical lightning fast. So I get the sense that the more that you can encompass this sense of truth, this sense that you're already the master and all you need to do is decide to be the master, this sense that it's not about winning and losing, that you're actually winning the entire time, and that you get to determine what you win at because you get to choose how you go into things. You get to choose what feels nurturing and what feels like it's dragging you away from things. So if you step into that place of seeking that truth, that joy is everywhere, and that because you are joy and you are the one that's moving in to these places of cultivating and creating, whether it's dinner or groceries or housework or whatever it is, that you can seek the truth that joy is everywhere and that you are joy, and that spirit wants you to feel joy and manifest joy into everything that you do, everywhere that you're going, into everyone you meet, including meeting yourself, um, in that place of connecting the highest self with the human ego self, that cultivating this whole sense of love everywhere, and this whole I am a master of everything I do because I choose to be, in the sense of it's not about winning and losing, it's actually about winning the whole time, because I can be a master at winning the whole time, and I can be a master at sharing this essence of who I am in everything that I do. And seeking the truth, which is that you cultivate and create your own reality, and that you are the master of your own emotions, and that you are the master of what it is that you desire. And you're allowed to desire whatever you want. You're allowed to stand on that stage and achieve that sense of recognition and allow it in. And you are the person who's recognizing you. And when you recognize you and seek that truth within and know that you're the essence of the joy, and that you're the essence of the creativity, and you're the essence of all your talents, and you're the essence and you're the master of it all, that you share that around all of you, that you're actually going to be able to seek the truth within. But not only that, I get the sense that the people who are watching you, because many people do watch what you do, you're one of those signs who is really a doer and a go-getter. And people see that and people admire that in you. And I don't know if people necessarily recognize and say, I admire that in you. But Aries is such a sign where you get stuff done. And many of us don't have that same capacity. I am more of the thinker, and I like to think about getting things done. But when it comes to the action, I like to do a little piece of it because I want to know that I can, but I don't need to complete it because I'm onto something else already. I don't need to finish it. Whereas you, the little people are looking up to you. They're looking at you, checking those projects off and finishing those projects and cultivating that joy and connecting into your highest self and bringing your essence wherever you go. And they're looking to you. They're seeking you as a part of their own truth so that they can learn how to cultivate their own joy. So once you seek that joy and essence within you, you're actually going to shine your own light in such a bigger, broader way that people are going to see you and recognize more that they are capable too, that they are capable of creating and doing the same things that you do, that they can step into their own essence because they just watched you do it. It was a really fun reading. I hope that you got a lot out of that, Aries, and I hope that this change and transformation that is happening until the first, where you're releasing all of those things that you don't need anymore, and then after the first, up until about the 10th, you're actually going to be cultivating all of those awesome things that maybe you've been putting off or thinking that you couldn't master, and ditching that whole sense of things are black and white and things are win or lose, and cultivating that sense of joy. The dog's here already because the dog knows that it's time to go outside and play. It's time to go connecting with the fairies because it's just about 7 o'clock here, so we're looking at sunset. You're definitely an animal person, so perhaps you called in this animal as a message or a guide that it's time to get outside, that it's time to play, that it's time to cultivate joy, that it's time to seek the truth in different ways. So I intend for you to be able to release whatever is not serving you and to step into that place of being the master of what will serve you, and to step into that place of cultivating the essence of joy within you and then shining that light and finding that confidence and that creativity and bringing that into everything that you do rather than it being a gas break sort of experience for you. If you want a personal reading, you can connect in with me. I'll leave the information below. If there are things from your past that are resonating as holding you back, like you're getting rubber banded back into your past, then I can help you with that too. And I can also help with future projections and whether you're on a an appropriate trajectory of creating what it is that you manifest and sort of assessing what time frame it is that you are hoping to experience these things and how much needs to shift within you in order to cultivate that. So let me know if you need any guidance. Let me know if you have any comments. Please feel free to share this and to subscribe to the channel if you have not. So namaste, happy spring to you all, and happy birthday, Aries.